my goodness. By the looks of it, everybody seemed to enjoy that last song, huh? We only play bangers here. Sorry, I had to use it. I had to use it. We only play bangers on the show. Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, the Scotiabank Arena. And we were treated to the first time in WWE, AJ Styles and CM Punk. You're starting to get a sense, you're starting to get a feeling that AJ Styles' WWE career is coming to an end. Or it may not. But by the looks of it, it's coming to an end. Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, Judgment Day drama. How is it all going to play out? We got new number one contenders for the Usos' Irrelevance Tag Team Championships. And Bron Breakker, Adam Pearce, what happened with the face-to-face? Went off like a smelly fart in church. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the venue inside my mother's basement. It is 16 degrees outside. Let's throw an extra log onto the fireplace, shall we? And when we get there on this Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for January 26th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. Hopefully it's warm wherever you may be. 16 degrees in New York City. It didn't even reach 25 today. 18 inches of snow on the ground yesterday. I had to shovel for at least 2 hours. And then another 2 hours today with another 4 feet of fucking ice. It's fantastic, man. I love the winter time. Said nobody fucking ever, man. I can't wait to get the fuck out of this godforsaken fucking dump. It's awful. It is fucking awful. I'm sure it's a lot worse where some of you guys may be, like my Chicago brethren and wherever else you guys may be up north. God bless your souls if you're anywhere past where I am, going upstate, Buffalo, into the northern regions of New York, man. Oh, my God. I can't. I can't. Bro, my body, man. Who needs the fucking gym? Who needs a gym membership, man? Just go outside and shovel fucking ice for 4 hours. Holy shit. My body doesn't even feel right. It's like, what did you do to me? Hopefully you guys are safe, man. Yesterday was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Yes, Sidro, I'm in Cali, 75 degrees. Yeah, man, go fuck yourself, bro. Really. Oh my God, I wish. Send that over. Send some of that over to me, man. Seriously. At least send me over at least 30 degrees so the fucking snow could at least start melting. Looks like we're gonna be stuck with this snow and this mess outside for at least a month and a half. It's crazy. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. I was looking forward to tonight's show because we're in full swing for the Royal Rumble on Saturday. Still doesn't even feel like we're getting ready for a Royal Rumble. WWE's done very little to get us excited about the Royal Rumble. I feel like it's an inconvenience that there is even a Royal Rumble. The fact that it's in Saudi Arabia is probably not helping the cause either. Feels like WWE doesn't really need to sell tickets here to the States, so they don't really need to promote. And they already probably got that building that they're constructing. How long has this building been in construction? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? They're legitimately putting a brand new venue together just for this show. Won't want to be any of those people. Feel like WWE doesn't even need to sell tickets for this thing, so they didn't put much promotion into it. Everybody's usually excited about the Rumble and what it brings anyway. But I thought tonight's show was a solid show. We got a match that was not prior announced to the show. And that was AJ Styles and CM Punk. Impromptu match, which for the Toronto people, 17,000, that sold out the fucking building tonight. You guys were probably very excited. It's cool of WWE to give you that match for the first time ever. I'm sure AJ and Punk wanted it too, which kind of signals to me that we are definitely nearing the end. I mean, after what we got at Saturday night's main event and what we got tonight, it just feels like with some of the instances that we've been given over the last 2 weeks, it certainly feels like AJ Styles is knocking on retirement's door. I don't want to believe it. I really don't. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm still in that this can't be real phase. It's almost like a dream. AJ, I don't know how he truly feels. Maybe he is really ready to hang it up. Maybe he really wants to spend time with his family at home and not have to worry about anything. I just don't physically see him. I don't see him retiring. I can't see him retire completely after this run. He chose his words wisely tonight in the opening promo. If you guys go back and listen, or if you were paying attention while he said it, WWE career. This could spell the end of his WWE career. It makes me think that AJ is certainly leaving the door open for other opportunities wherever that may be. Whether that's in Japan, whether that's in TNA, whether that is really in AEW, which I don't really see WWE letting him retire and then just walk into fucking AEW. I just don't. I don't believe we are there yet. But I mean, everybody that's been talking about this, I've talked about it. We've talked about it on Tuesday Night Titans. I just don't know how WWE is physically going to get out of this. They gave you a stipulation of career on the line. And they also put this stipulation in a match where the guy who wants to end AJ's career physically can't lose. AJ beating Gunther is going to be incredibly counterproductive to everything that WWE hopes to aspire to with Gunther. He retired Goldberg. He retired John Cena. The entire John Cena narrative post-John Cena retirement has fallen flat on its face. WWE completely fucking botched everything that they needed to do. Gunther does not feel any hotter coming out of the match with John Cena, retiring John Cena, than he does now. It's ridiculous. And that falls into the lap of Triple H and the writing team. That's their situation to look at and take responsibility for. They are to blame for that. And if you think Gunther is any hotter than he was then in the match with John Cena, you're a fool. I gave WWE the benefit of the doubt because I look at Gunther as somebody that I don't really see Triple H botching. He's been a huge pet project of Triple H. Triple H hasn't really made any new stars. He inherited a lot of that stuff coming over from the Vince McMahon administration. And he inherited all those stories and those characters. There isn't one superstar that he can point to and call his own. Gunther is legitimately that first Triple H star. And we all thought that this was going to be Triple H making his first star. He hasn't. Gunther hasn't done anything to really transcend the industry. We were all talking about he's got the biggest heat in the industry. He's the biggest heel in the industry. Do you feel that way now, legitimately a month removed from John Cena retiring? I know I don't. And if Gunther loses on Saturday to AJ Styles, what is it going to do? The perception in the fans' eyes is that half of the fucking audience doesn't even give a shit about Gunther. They don't believe in him. They haven't believed in him since he beat John Cena. That train has left the station. So all you're going to do is basically bring him back to square one when the whole plan was for him to beat Cena and transcend this company and this industry by retiring what they called the greatest of all time. What would beating Gunther do? It would erase everything. So them coming into this match, I can't see them making a stupid fucking decision like that. Or maybe I can, because this creative team is so fucking up and down, so hot and cold. But the only way out of this is for AJ to beat Gunther, if we don't want to believe AJ is fully retiring. Now, the other thing was, a story went around this weekend from fucking Dave Meltzer, the shill himself, Tony Khan's right-hand man, Dave Meltzer. He put out a report saying WWE has a plan B. They have a backup plan. AJ would beat Gunther in this one-on-one match, and then Gunther would go on to win the Royal Rumble. Does anybody legitimately here want to see Gunther win the Royal Rumble? I know I don't. I don't want to see Gunther win the Royal Rumble. If Gunther wins the Royal Rumble, you got a whole nother fucking problem on your hands, because then you'd be running the risk of this guy again, and then you're running the risk of go-away heat and throwing the genuine heat out the fucking window. The more you do something and the more you push somebody the fans genuinely don't want to see, the more they're going to revolt, and it's going to equal go-away heat. So having Gunther win the Royal Rumble also is counterproductive. The only way out of this is if WWE has the match on Saturday and Gunther cheats to win again. Which, maybe, if Adam Pearce wants to fucking get his hands dirty and do the general manager thing like he's done with the Vision, maybe he reverses the decision. Maybe Gunther gets the visual pinfall, and we're all under the assumption that AJ Styles is retired, only to come back to the States on Monday in Philadelphia next week, and AJ gets the decision handed to him. And maybe we continue this from there on. I don't know. I don't know how WWE is going to go about it. A no contest is not going to work. A double disqualification or a double countout's not going to work. That's just absolutely the lamest fucking decision you could possibly give these guys in a high-profile match. Oh, we put your career on the line. Let's end it in a double countout. Let's end it in a double disqualification. Maybe Gunther gets the visual pin. AJ is retired. Come Monday, the decision's reversed. AJ wins. Or maybe they do it right then and there on Saturday. What they do at WrestleMania, I don't know. Maybe we get some sort of stipulation again there. I have no idea. Genuinely. But I don't want to believe that AJ's done yet. Everything feels so haphazardly rushed together or put together. Or maybe we're just blind as a fan base. And what we've been watching is low-key, indiscreetly, AJ Styles' retirement tour. He wrestled John Cena at Crown Jewel. He won the tag team championships with Dragon Lee. And he wrestled Nakamura at Saturday Night's Main Event. Maybe this has been his low-key retirement tour, and we didn't really even know it. They didn't announce it. They didn't make anything official, but this is eerily coming together as some sort of quiet, hush-hush retirement run. Tonight he got Punk. Saturday he gets Gunther. I don't know. Or maybe he just does retire and goes home for a little bit, only to come back and work as a coach or a producer or some performance center personnel. I don't know. I have no idea. I said it that if AJ retires, and I did hear him say WWE career, maybe he goes to TNA. Maybe he goes and has one last run in TNA because that's the other place that basically made AJ Styles who he is today before he came to the WWE. I can't see him going to AEW. I can't. If AJ is running with the excuse that he doesn't want to embarrass himself and he's getting to a point where he doesn't want to do this like that anymore, and they're going to ask him to do that even more so there, I can't see that. I can't see it. Though, AJ versus Kenny Omega, AJ versus MJF. MJF, is the top guy there. I'd love to see that match. Omega, he's been wanting that match at a WrestleMania. AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay. AJ Styles versus Swerve. There's not really much there that I really cared to see outside those matches, but I mean, the money that Tony Khan would probably offer him if he's a free agent would be too ridiculous to even turn down. He's got a lot of money to blow. Jericho's not coming back. Hobbs is not coming back, so he's got some room on the payroll. I just physically can't see that, and I don't see WWE even allowing that to happen because they know in the back of their mind that's a possibility. Why would they allow him to do that? I don't know, man. It's not something I really want to believe yet. I can't see AJ doing that. I think he's got way too much respect for everybody in the WWE to go and do something like that. I will say, we always talk about the WWE being too predictable. Even though head on this looks like a predictable outcome because of what we've been given up until this point, for some weird reason, it still remains unpredictable because you got the obvious guy in Gunther who 100% should beat AJ Styles. But then you got the other side of the fence that is like us that can't believe he's going to retire this quickly with so little fanfare. So you got the obvious in Gunther beating him, but then you got the people who can't believe it's happening so quickly and are not sure what the outcome's going to be. It's crazy to even think about. And in some weird way, it is coming off as unpredictable. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, their first match was really good on Raw. Given that this one's taking place on a PLE, this is going to be even better. I'm looking forward to it. He wrestled CM Punk tonight. And the match came about because they both wanted it. There was no real story behind it. They did it because both of them wanted it. They left the main event slot open. I always love to see a world championship match in the main event on weekly television. I don't like to see it all the time because it's special when it does happen. And we got that one tonight. So kudos to WWE on that. A lot of people that bought tickets tonight to sell out that joint we're not anticipating this match taking place tonight, and WWE gave it to them as a big surprise. So that was a nice treat for everybody in attendance. We talk about Styles retiring. I want to talk about CM Punk for a little bit. CM Punk gets shit on for whatever reason. You got people who just don't like his attitude. People think he's a hypocrite. The AW sickos don't like him because, in all honesty, he's still their biggest star and will forever be their biggest star. CM Punk quietly through 1 month. We're not even through January yet. And quietly through 1 month, CM Punk is already putting Wrestler of the Year credentials together. And hopefully he can continue that. And I'm sure he will. Because he's had a very good run so far coming back to the WWE as far as what he's done telling stories and what he's done from an in-ring aspect. So start giving CM Punk a little bit more credit. He's the one guy in there that you can always count on. I'm not going to say every match he has is a banger, but 9 out of 10 times the guy goes out there, busts his ass, works his ass off, and he's quietly putting together Wrestler of the Year credentials, and we're not even out of January yet. So keep an eye on him. Finn Balor. There was a nice moment between Balor and CM Punk that you could really feel was heartfelt. And it was a nice push forward to where we, A, want to see Finn Balor, and B, where we want to see the Judgment Day end up, and that's not together. CM Punk told Finn Balor, the only way you can be where we all know you can be. You want to be a world champion. You want to be the guy, right? After all these years. The only way you can do that, the only way you can achieve that is by leaving the Judgment Day and not pandering to Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. CM Punk put an emphasis on Dominic Mysterio. Then we got Finn Balor and Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan is not stupid. Liv Morgan, who, by the way, I think is winning the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble. Should be an interesting discussion on TNT tomorrow. I heard Solid Monster thinks Bianca Belair is winning the Royal Rumble. I do that. That's a good choice. That's a good choice, and a very likely choice, too. Bianca is also someone I would look at as Mrs. Royal Rumble. Liv Morgan, in my opinion, though she's very good in the Royal Rumble, I would actually say Liv Morgan is Mrs. Elimination Chamber. So we may actually have both of them get what they want, or both of us get what we want as far as the predictions, just reversed. I could see Bianca Belair winning the Royal Rumble. I could see Liv Morgan winning the Royal Rumble. And if one doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I could see the other winning the Elimination Chamber. But Liv Morgan's not stupid. She heard, because she was watching the show in the Judgment Day Clubhouse, she heard Finn Balor and CM Punk talking, and she heard what CM Punk had to tell Finn Balor. Now, she turned that respect that Punk showed Balor into something that, of course, Liv Morgan would turn it into. She made him look like, or Punk rather, made Balor look like a chump. Like a second-rate fucking hand-me-down in your own country. He doesn't respect you. And he made losing into some great accolade. You didn't win the world championship. So Balor took that and went ahead and attacked CM Punk to cause this match to have a fuck finish tonight with Punk beating Styles. But I feel like Punk and Balor's not done yet. I feel like WWE's going to run with this after the Royal Rumble, because Punk is not defending the World Championship in Saudi. He's not defending the world title at the Royal Rumble. So we may actually get this and have this be a main angle going into Chicago, into the Elimination Chamber. How we get there, I don't know. How Balor gets another World Championship match, I don't know. Adam Pearce told him he's not going to be in the Royal Rumble because Balor went to Adam Pearce and said, I'm declaring for the Royal Rumble. Adam Pearce told him it's too late. All 30 spots in the Men's Rumble have already been filled. It's very weird. With who? So we went out and attacked CM Punk tonight at the end of the match, last match of the night. I do feel like we're going to get an angle that plays out where Balor realized Punk is correct and that he should not be doing business with the Judgment Day anymore. And if he wants to be where he wants to be, he's got to let the Judgment Day go. And I feel like with Balor pandering to Liv Morgan, and Dominic is probably going to be at the Royal Rumble, and he'll be back, and JD McDonough is going to be back soon, I feel like CM Punk is going to be on the receiving end of a Judgment Day attack. And I can see Finn Balor contemplating, do I really want to be doing this to him? Do I really want to be attacking CM Punk? And when the time calls for it, Finn Balor's not going to want to do that. And Finn Balor is actually going to back away and not join in with the Judgment Day, which is going to have them look at him as, do you want to be here? Where are your allegiance? Or where is your allegiance to us? And he's going to actually become a babyface there in the moment. And I genuinely think that's going to lead us to Balor versus Dominic at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That's the way I feel WWE is going to get us to Balor and Dominic. I think that's the WrestleMania match for both guys. I genuinely feel that's going to be their WrestleMania match. So we'll see how that plays out. But that was an interesting aspect to what they did tonight. From Balor and Punk to Balor and Liv, and then Balor attacking Punk at the end of the match between him and Styles. So again, it's going to be interesting to see play out. This is the most interesting the Judgment Day has been in forever. They haven't been this interesting all last year. So hopefully we're nearing the end. Or maybe I could see Triple H wanting to continue the Judgment Day because the Judgment Day is his little pet project. And the Judgment Day has given us Roxanne Perez on the up and up. Liv Morgan is a star in the Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez has been made into a star within the Judgment Day. JD McDonough is better off in the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day has been a group that has given life to talents. Otherwise, that might not have been stars on the main roster. Or at least this quickly. It's a home for the way that I look at the Judgment Day. It's almost like, all right, we'll put you in the Judgment Day because it's a group that's known for creating stars and getting people in prominent positions. We may be looking at Balor getting kicked out of the Judgment Day. They may enlist a new leader, whoever that may be. I heard WWE is close to signing Evil from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He could fit into the leadership role there. Does he speak English? I don't know. But I do think that the Judgment Day, at least right now, with Balor, is at least teasing a split with him and the Judgment Day, which is great because that's been a long time coming. Other than that on this show, Bron Breakker and Adam Pearce, we were supposed to have a face-to-face, which we got. I thought that there was going to be a little bit more to this face-to-face. We didn't really get what people were anticipating, and that was Adam Pearce apologizing. But Bron Breakker basically got off the hook rather easily tonight, which has now raised the question, who really was on the phone with Adam Pearce? Because he was very giving. He was almost like Santa Claus on Monday night. He handed out Bron Breakker, all right, you're in the Rumble. All right, your suspension is lifted. All right, everybody in the Vision's in the Royal Rumble. Good. Have a fucking great New Year. And that was it. He allowed all of the Vision in the Royal Rumble. And now people are making a big deal about this phone call for a second week in a row because he was very giving. Who the fuck was he on the phone with? Is that even still a thing? I don't know. I thought that there should have been more to it. I thought that there should have been at least a little bit of a story there. All right, you'll be allowed to come back to Monday night. You'll be allowed to come back to work. You'll be in the Royal Rumble. But, you put your hands on me. You can't really put your hands on a senior official here in WWE. General Manager Pearce here. You can come back. Suspension is lifted, but you're going to be number one in the Royal Rumble. So have a great day, Bron. Have a great day. None of that happened. None of that happened. They're all in the Rumble. That was it. Who was on the phone with him? Does that even matter anymore? We got number one contenders for the Usos Tag Team Championships. You're not going to believe who it is. This tag team division is fucking garbage. And we got the ladies. Six-man tag team action. Rhea and Io coming off a great title defense on Saturday night's main event. Come to Monday night and do the same thing with the Judgment Day ladies. Solid Monday Night Raw tonight. And we got confirmation that Oba Femi will be in the Royal Rumble. I mean, you could have kept that one a surprise, but they let the cat out of the bag early tonight. And the Rumble is looking like the ruler's domain. We'll see what happens there. But this is your Monday Night Raw post-show right here on Off the Script. It is your Monday, January 26th, 2026. Tonight we're sponsored by my great friends over at Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. Use that promo code SCRIPT for 10% off. Go get yourself the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset. I love it. When I play Call of Duty, the sounds and the battery life get me through those long sessions. I've been actually playing more Black Ops 7 than Destiny 2 lately, man. I'm very bored of Destiny. It's either that or Arc Raiders now. I got to finish my season pass on Black Ops 7. That's the only reason why I've been doing a little bit more Call of Duty these days. You know, you pay for the battle pass, you want to get it finished. So I got to do that. And Arc Raiders. I got to get my my expedition complete before February. So get yourself a Turtle Beach Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset or a gaming controller. They got everything you need for your PlayStation, Xbox, PC needs. TurtleBeach.com/script. We'll talk about them a little bit later on in the show, but they are sponsoring the show again tonight right here on the Monday Night Raw Post. Thank you guys for a great week last week. We killed it with the content and some of the comments on my video that went out last week on the Trey Miguel situation. You guys love that so much. I may have to bring back that intro. That intro you guys loved on that upload with the Final Fantasy VII Final Boss music. Yeah. And we might be bringing that back to Wednesday because I love it. And there's nothing but truth in that entire video. So go check that out. I'm sure Jason and I will be talking about that. Nice to see Jason kind of come over to my side of the fence on it. Should be a good discussion tomorrow night, man. So go check that out. We were live for Friday Night SmackDown. We were live for what I thought was the best Saturday Night's main event that WWE's put on since they brought the concept back. So that was Saturday. So go check all that stuff out. Available on YouTube and also on iTunes and Spotify. If you guys are on iTunes and Spotify, don't have enough time to catch the live streams or catch up with the streams after they go on YouTube after I'm live, podcast is available on Spotify and iTunes, man. I would really, really appreciate some support over there. Go over there, listen. Leave a comment, leave a rating. Helps me out tremendously, man. This week, we are number 27, I believe. We're a top 30 podcast over on iTunes in the pro wrestling space. So go and check that out. We're amongst the big hitters over there, and I would really appreciate the support over there. So let's get that up. That's one of my main priorities this year is to get the audio stuff a little bit higher. I want to get into the top 15. That's the goal. Very realistic goal, but let's do it. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Go and check out the content again on the channel. Leave a comment. That also helps us out down below. And Super Chats, they are open. Best way to support the channel, best way to support what I do here on YouTube is via the Super Chats. So get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of tonight's show. Yeah, you know, man, I see a lot of people complaining about the cover of the 2K26 video game. Triple H put himself on the cover, is what I'm hearing. WWE has got this thing now. They got the Attitude Era Showcase, and they got Attitude Era inspired covers for 2 different editions, and they got like a King of Kings edition with Triple H on the cover. They got the Monday Night War cover. They got the Attitude Era cover. First of all, you know, you guys don't place enough blame on the developers and on 2K games. You know, you guys should really be deserving a lot more as far as what you're getting. Every single year, and this is why I can't stand the gaming industry anymore, and it's so difficult to find a game that you can genuinely get lost in and feel like the developers put their fucking heart and soul into it. Every single year, it's the same soulless fucking rehash of a game. Every year. I feel it with Call of Duty. And I foolishly buy it every fucking year. And nothing's different. It's the same shit. Skill-based matchmaking riddled all over the fucking game, ruining your experience. And the mechanics are the fucking same. They're different, but they're the same. It welcomes these awful fucking players. WWE 2K does the same thing. But everybody's complaining Triple H put himself on the fucking cover. You should be blaming the developers for even giving you an Attitude Era fucking showcase. Otherwise, Triple H wouldn't be on the fucking cover. The only thing you should be blaming Triple H for, and I mean this wholeheartedly, is the fact that they haven't created a new star good enough to be on the cover of the game. And it's only a fucking cover. There is a very small percentage of people that actually still go out and buy physical copies of the game. The cover should be the least of your concerns. You're complaining about a cover that I'm sure he had nothing to do with. But then you want to look at everybody else in that time period. The Attitude Era, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, or whoever else is on the fucking cover, you know? The Rock, Hogan, Hall, Nash, Bischoff, all these fucking people during the Monday Night War. Mick Foley, Kane, The Undertaker. Who do you want on the fucking cover of the game? The Rock ain't there. The Rock barely wants to fucking show up. Steve Austin's not there. They've asked him to come back out of retirement how many fucking times since he's wrestled Kevin Owens? He didn't even want to show up in Vegas or in Philly for WrestleMania. I doubt he even shows up in Vegas this year. He don't want to be bothered. He don't want to be bothered. He did show up last year, but he almost fucking killed a fan front row with his dune buggy. I mean, Triple H being on the cover should be the least of your concerns, honestly. It's the same mechanics every year. No fucking thought into the showcase. Man, I can't wait to relive Attitude Era. Didn't they do that back during WWE 2K13? Or one of those years? How many times are we going to get the same fucking era relived in a video game? Same match types, same this, same that. They build upon nothing. The only thing that they do is add a new character or so. Oh, I can't wait to play as Kit Wilson next year. You fucking kidding me? And then they invite these fucking no-talent hacks in the community to go out there and play test the fucking game. None of them will speak up about how it's the same fucking shit every single year. And then they all get content and they fucking clap their fucking hands like fucking seals at the aquarium. Oh, look. Look at the new entrance. They make compilation videos to get engagement based off the entrances of Liv Morgan and Io Sky. Bro, the community is it's so fucking sad. It really is. Like, I could never in 1,000 lifetimes lower myself to make slop content like that, honestly. Legitimately, no thought goes into it. No genuine feeling goes into it. No genuine feeling comes out of it. It's fucking sad. Yes, 2K. Yes. The game sucks and it's the same mechanics every year. And it feels like I'm wrestling in fucking quicksand every year. And the pinfall mechanic is the fucking same every year. And you didn't add this, you didn't add that. It's the same match types. Oh man, they added an Inferno match. Give me a fucking break. You got some geek living halfway across the world that could fucking mod a better game than what WWE 2K does and puts out every year. Now, Triple H had nothing to do with putting himself on the fucking cover. Maybe you should blame the fucking developers for being not creative this year. Give me a break. The only thing you should be blaming Triple H for is the lack of stars currently in this generation that don't quite fit the bill to be on the cover of the video game. How about that? Give me a break. Starting with Monday Night Raw here, AJ Styles opens the show. That was my rant on the video game, by the way. AJ Styles starts the show. How many people knew with AJ starting the show that we may be in for a great main event tonight? I don't read the dirt sheets during the day. I don't care. You know, you got your body slams and your fightfuls putting out, oh, AJ's opening the show tonight. They don't want anything to be a surprise. Everything's got to be about engagement and clicks. Styles said Gunther claims he's going to end his career at the Royal Rumble. That's his plan. I'm not going anywhere. He said he made it clear in 2026 that this is the year he retires. Fans started chanting, fuck you, Gunther. Fuck you, Gunther. I heard it. They didn't bleep it out. It was faintly heard. Styles said 2025 was the year of John Cena, and there's no reason 2026 can't be the year of AJ Styles. He says there are locker rooms full of wrestlers he'd like to wrestle one more time, and he'd like to be a world champion one more time. Ding, ding, ding. There's the clue. He says his back is against the wall, but Gunther is not phenomenal. Punk says he has respect. CM Punk came out. He makes it to the ring. They have a face-to-face. Crowd loves Punk in Toronto. Punk says he has respect for AJ Styles, so he has to ask publicly, what are you doing putting your career on the line against Gunther? He says he thinks people like the two of them have a lot of gas left in the tank and have more moments in front of people like this. Styles asked if he doubts he can beat Gunther. Punk said, I never said that. I've seen you beat Gunther. He says if things don't go his way Saturday, they will never get to wrestle each other again. Styles says, I know I can beat Gunther, and I know I can beat you. Punk says he won't get to prove that if things don't go his way Saturday. So Punk started playing with the fans and says he's not sure what to do about this. He looked at Styles, who says, what if they fight tonight and he beats him, and then he beats him, goes on to beat Gunther, and then he would be seen as the number one contender for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Punk says, I won the title on November 1st, and I said I would be a fighting champion. If you and me are going to do this tonight in Toronto, it's going to be for the belt. I like the fact that Punk puts emphasis on belt. You know, Vince didn't like people going out on live TV saying belt. It was championship. Vince always thought that a belt was something that held up your pants, was the rumor. But I love that CM Punk uses the word belt because it's old school. It's a championship belt. Punk said, that sounds like a main event to me. Styles smiled, and they shook hands. There you go. That got people talking. Is this it? A lot of people took this as, man, this is confirmation that he's done on Saturday. He got Cena in October. He got a tag team title. He wrestled Gunther. He wrestled Nakamura. He wrestled Punk. And now he's wrestling Gunther again in what could be his retirement match on Saturday at the Royal Rumble. Plus, it's 10 years to the event where he debuted with the WWE in the 2016 Royal Rumble. Again, I can't really sit here and give you guys a declarative feeling or answer. All I could sit here and tell you is it doesn't feel right. It feels rushed. It feels like what Punk said. There's a lot left in the tank, and there is. If you watched Styles wrestle Nakamura and you watch Styles wrestle in general, period, there's a lot left in the tank. AJ's still one of the very best that does this, even at his age. But who are we to say that AJ can't retire? AJ shouldn't retire. If AJ wants to retire, then AJ's going to retire. If AJ wants to spend time home with his family and his son, then he's going to spend time at home with his family and his son. But I do think that AJ, going into Saturday, like I told you with Gunther, it does create this unpredictability in a weird sort of way because there are people who look at what has transpired up until this point, even with the match with Punk tonight. We got this random one-on-one match, unadvertised for the World Championship. First time ever in WWE. Both of them wrestling in the WWE has never happened before tonight in the same ring. You look at that and it's like, we got all this stuff coming at us. We got this tonight. We got Saturday. It may be the end. It could be the end. But then you got people like me, and it's like, this is way too soon. I can't believe it yet because AJ doesn't wrestle like a guy that's set to retire. I think that's the problem. You know, you look at AJ Styles, and from our point of view as a fan, you think when someone's ready to retire, they look like a John Cena in the ring. They look like an Undertaker in the last stages of his WWE career. They look like an aging, broken down vessel who can barely get the job done anymore, and you know that they're on their last legs as an in-ring performer. I don't get that with AJ at all. I don't see it with AJ. I don't think I'll ever feel that with AJ. No matter how many times you want to tell me he's ready to retire. At least not yet. He's not even 50 years old. How old is AJ? What is he, 47, 48 years old? Bro, the guy's got at least a good 5 years left in him. Easy. There's no doubt in my mind. I just physically can't see him being ready yet. If by chance he does lose on Saturday, I do see him working TNA. I do see him going over there. I don't know what he does over there, but I do think they teased Frankie Kazarian on that debut AMC episode for a very specific reason. I do think he ends up over there. Mike Santana's going to need challenges for the World Championship. He wants to win a World Championship. That could be the World Championship he wins. That would make headlines. Mike Santana versus AJ Styles for the World Championship? Sign me the fuck up. I'll gladly buy that pay-per-view to watch that match. He's going to need more competitors than fucking Nick Nemeth or Mustafa Ali. Does he go to New Japan? I can't see AJ going to Japan and wrestling that style. Same thing with AEW. The jury's out. I don't know. AJ Saturday against Gunther. In some weird way, it just comes off as it looks like he's done with what we've been given on TV, but at the same time, it's almost doesn't feel real, which kind of gives it this weird sense of unpredictability. I'm excited to watch it. I'm excited to see it. They're going to create something really special on Saturday because that's what they do. No matter what you think of Gunther, he's fucking great at what he does. No matter what you think of AJ, AJ is still great and is one of the greatest ever. So I'm looking forward to it. But this match was made, first time ever in WWE, world title on the line between Punk and AJ Styles. Stephanie Vaquer. She teamed with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley against Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan, the ladies of the Judgment Day. So the Judgment Day ladies wore all matching black and red gear, which is a nice touch because if you're a part of a group or / tag team, I like when you wear matching attire. Makes you fit the bill. This was good. I thought Rhea and Io against the Kabuki Warriors, or no, not the Kabuki Warriors, Liv Morgan and Roxanne on Saturday. They beat the Kabuki Warriors for the titles. Saturday, they wrestled Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. I thought what they did on Saturday night's main event was really good. It was a good, fun, upbeat, spirited tag team match with a couple of cool spots in there, and they ended up retaining. And that continued here on Monday Night Raw in a 6-man tag team match, and they just added Stephanie Vaquer, who's now cleared with the ankle injury, and Raquel Rodriguez, who is eyeing Stephanie Vaquer and the WWE Women's World Championship. So, Rhea Ripley, she comes out to an obvious huge pop. Crowd is singing Io's name. Match starts. Stephanie enters the ring. She works with Morgan. I do think that this will end up being the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania. She tried for a devil's kiss that was broken up by Raquel. I really wish that they... I don't want them to get rid of the devil's kiss. I don't want them to make it a big focus on who she is. They are still focusing on the devil's kiss as this is who Stephanie is. It's like, we talk about Jey Uso and he's a theme song merchant. Or what I used to call Jacob Fatu last year when they had him feuding with that awful United States title feud over that and Solo Sikoa. He was nothing more than a catchphrase merchant. Yada mean and all gas, no brakes. I mean, they did nothing but fucking harm him in the long run. Same thing they're doing with Stephanie. She's a one-move merchant. I would like for them to get rid of it for a little bit. Go to it when it matters. Every single match, it doesn't need to be a thing every single match. Because that's all people anticipate. You've conditioned people to look at the devil's kiss, and that's the only thing they look forward to in Stephanie's matches. Meanwhile, what you're missing is a tremendous women's professional wrestler. Now you got to decondition these people to think it's not coming. You got to get rid of it. That's just the way that I see it. Anyway, Morgan, she broke up Raquel broke up the devil's kiss. Morgan actually tagged out to Rodriguez moments earlier. Vaquer didn't see it because she was distracted by Roxanne. The referee did see it, but made no attempt to get Morgan out of the ring, and he was yelling at Vaquer. She remained in the ring. Rodriguez comes back in. They do maintain control, does the Judgment Day. Morgan, she goes to the other side of the ring and yanks Io off the side of the apron while Raquel attacked Rhea Ripley from behind. Vaquer, she makes a hot tag to Io, who then comes in, hits Perez with uppercuts, flying drop kick, and the corner bullet train, which is the corner meteora. Morgan saved Perez from a moonsault, but Io followed with a backbreaker. Morgan distracted the referee by messing up the ring skirt while Roxanne raked Io's eyes. Roxanne and Morgan hit a double team combo here. It was a leg sweep and a code breaker for a 2 count. Io made the hot tag to Rhea Ripley, who comes on in and gives Liv Morgan a razor's edge onto Raquel. Rhea Ripley blocked a pop rocks, took out Roxanne with a vicious clothesline. Ripley followed that up with a missile dropkick to Raquel. Morgan comes back with a tornado DDT on Rhea. Io broke up the cover on Liv. Everyone shredded moves here until Stephanie wiped out Rodriguez with a diving splash to the outside. Morgan went for Oblivion. Rhea Ripley blocked it. Roxanne made a blunt tag. They tried their combo move again, the same move, the Russian leg sweep and the code breaker. But Io wiped out Liv with a flying dropkick. Ripley finished off Roxanne with a riptide for the 1, 2, 3. So all of the baby faces here celebrated, and they were still selling Raquel and Stephanie going into next week. That was made official. World Championship match next week in Philadelphia. It will be a Philadelphia street fight. They were still focusing on the ankle. So even though she's cleared, the story of the match is very much still going to be Stephanie's ankle, which is going to maybe cast doubt over Stephanie even retaining the championship next week against Raquel Rodriguez. So that was announced. We got a World Championship match next week in Philadelphia, and the announce team was very much still selling the ankle that Stephanie Vaquer is now cleared on, and she is able to wrestle. We got Balor backstage, being that he wrestled CM Punk last week in Belfast. They obviously paid respect to each other last week. And this week, Balor caught up to Punk and says he's been thinking about what happened last week in Belfast. He says he wanted to become champion, but things didn't go his way. He says he was part of the most memorable night of his career. He said after the match, he helped him up gave him his flowers, and in the emotions of the moments, he didn't return it. So he told Punk, thank you. Punk says he's not the best in the world unless he beats the best. He says he doesn't hand out title shots, which he says he doesn't hand out title shots, but tonight he handed out a title shot to AJ Styles. So, I mean, I guess he does hand out title shots. You know, you can cover it up and say, well, I'm a fighting champion, but you handed out title shots to both Balor and AJ Styles. So you did hand out a title shot, even though he says he didn't. He says there aren't a lot of guys like them left. He told him to think about his legacy because he shouldn't be hanging around with scum like Dominic Mysterio. He says if he wants another shot, go and win the Royal Rumble. The emphasis on scum and Dominic Mysterio is going to come into play. Dominic will be back. He was injured at a AAA show earlier in the month, or in December. He's still the Intercontinental Champion. And I do think that Dominic Mysterio, when you start looking at how the WrestleMania card is going to be fleshed out, I think Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio is eventually going to end up on that card. And I think at some point, Finn Balor is going to come to his senses and realize that CM Punk actually was correct in his assessment. All of this was done by design. And this is going to play a bigger aspect in a story that we have not seen play out yet. So this one is going to be looked back upon as a very big turning point in Balor's direction in 2026. Heyman. He's out there with the Vision. They come on out. We got Bron Breakker, Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Paul Heyman. Heyman stood in the middle of the ring. He introduced himself. He told fans if they keep booing him, this will go on all night. He says he brought with him the hottest prospect of 2026, 2027, and 2028. Then he says the pressure himself, Austin Theory. So that's his new nickname, the Pressure, Austin Theory. He touted Bronson Reed as someone with a pinfall over Roman Reigns. That was last year, bro. We need some new accolades for the tribal thief. Can't be going into a new year still claiming, well, I'm the one that beat Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns hasn't been on television in 2 months. I think we're going to need a new go-to line here. He touted Logan Paul as the most famous face on the planet today. And then he touted Bron Breakker as the one who sold out the Scotia Bank Arena. None of these things are true. But Paul Heyman is Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman's a GOAT. No matter what he says, you're going to listen. Heyman turned to implicating General Manager Adam Pearce, crossed the line with the Vision. He accused them, or him, of planting brass knuckles for Rey Mysterio to use against Austin Theory last week. He says he went for a deadbeat dad to a felonious father. He then told Pearce, at your leisure, sir, we welcome your presence. Adam Pearce walked out, no theme music. Adam Pearce didn't have this terrible backing Monday Night Raw theme. As he walked out to a chorus of live audience, 17,000 in Toronto. Adam Pearce walked out. Heyman invited fans to give him boos and give him the middle finger, which some of the fans actually did. And I don't think that's quite fair to Adam Pearce because Adam Pearce, I honestly think he's playing an incredible role as general manager. Pearce said he wasn't out there to make excuses or apologize for wearing his heart on his sleeve. He says he is man enough to acknowledge things got out of hand. This was 2 weeks ago. He says he put his hands on Bron Breakker first. And he ends up apologizing to Bron Breakker. Adam Pearce says, I've already filed the paperwork. Bron Breakker's reinstated. And Bron Breakker is free and able to enter the Royal Rumble. He asked Paul Heyman, do you need anything else? Heyman told him to stop interrupting him. Pearce said, all right, listen, you drive a hard bargain. You want to be a businessman? I got one better for you. Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, all the Vision, you're all in the Royal Rumble. He says he feels Theory needs a chance at redemption. You want me to go even further? I'm not done yet. Theory, you want a chance at redemption. It seems like you're in your wrestling gear. You want to wrestle the Hall of Famer? One-on-one tonight, Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio, and that's coming up next. Adam Pearce gave no fight. He did not go in there looking for confrontation. He went in there and gave the Vision everything that they wanted. They wanted Bron Breakker to be reinstated. They wanted Bron Breakker in the Royal Rumble. Instead, Adam Pearce not only gave him what he wanted, reinstated, Royal Rumble, but he put everybody in the Vision in the Royal Rumble. And then he gave Austin Theory a rematch with Rey Mysterio for what happened last week because of the brass knuckle spot. And Austin Theory was the recipient of said brass knuckles. And that's the way the face-to-face came to an end. No shenanigans. Nothing that would signify a punishment. Adam Pearce left the ring. And we got Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio one-on-one. Now, I was a little disappointed. I expected a lot more from this. They really built this up. They gave you a great angle over the last 2 weeks. Seriously. I love the Bron Breakker and Adam Pearce pull-apart that they did 2 weeks ago. I was excited with the phone call aspect of this. Who was Adam Pearce on the phone with, especially after Paul Heyman says, when the phone rings, you should really pick up that phone call and take that call. Made you think, is that going to be an aspect in this storyline going forward? Who the fuck is on the phone call? Who is he talking to? Nobody really important like an Ari Emanuel or a Mark Shapiro or a Nick Khan. They don't really put those names out there on television for storyline purposes. Is he on the phone with Triple H? What the fuck does Triple H give a shit? Triple H, we all know Triple H is sitting in the fucking chair in Gorilla. If he wanted to do something about it, he would have done something about it. It had to be somebody else. Was it The Rock? Is Dwayne calling Adam Pearce and using his board of directors power? But then even that is silly. Guy don't want to show up for WrestleMania last year, and all of a sudden I'm here to believe that now he gives a shit about the fucking Vision on a random Raw in fucking Belfast, Ireland? Come on, man. Who was it? Maybe it was Stephanie McMahon. Maybe it was Brock Lesnar. I don't know. You know, Brock Lesnar's the type of guy that drives a hard bargain. Who knows? My first inclination here with the phone call was, I think they just kind of threw that out there as not really a priority in the story, but something that fans would obviously pick up on, and WWE would run with that. It would be used as an aspect to just build intrigue going into the next week. And like I thought, they didn't really follow up on it. And it didn't really become a focus of the storyline. I was just disappointed that here I have this great angle that WWE gave us, and then last week we get Bron Breakker invited to tonight's Raw, and it went off the way that it did. Very unceremonious. It was so anticlimactic. He gave them everything that they wanted. And I tweeted out immediately, I mean, is that it? There's got to be a punishment here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he fucks with their Royal Rumble numbers. I thought there would be more to this, but it only led to a Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory match, one-on-one here, which went about 9 minutes. Austin Theory is very good. You know, I just can't really be bothered to care about what he does in the ring. He's very good, but you just look at him in the Vision and you can just kind of look at him and say, well, this guy is the resident jobber of the Vision. Once he sheds that, I think he'll be fine. That means they got to add another member, which that member would then become the de facto loser in the group, and Austin Theory would move up in the ranks. But this was a good match. Theory's in control here, and he tried to rip at Rey's mask to get some heat. Didn't really go anywhere with that. They are fighting on the outside. Ray sent Theory into the ring post. Ray then hit Theory with a seated senton off the barricade. Ray smacked Bronson Reed's head before heading back into the ring, kind of fucking with them on the outside. So we go into a commercial break, and we come back from the break. Ray went after Theory outside the ring again, but Theory dumped him onto the ring steps and placed him in another rest hold. So we get Ray trying for a springboard crossbody, coming back here. Theory nails him with a midair forearm. And I don't know what he called this next move. It looked like a flatliner of sorts. I think the commentary team says he called it ataxia. Now, I don't know what that means or what that signifies, but it was a flatliner variation of sorts. It looked good. Dragon Lee checked on Ray on the outside as he and Penta were on the outside in Ray's corner. Logan goes over and shoves Dragon Lee. Penta then super kicked Logan Paul. Dragon Lee then tried to take out Bronson Reed. Reed caught him and drove him into the barricade before Logan yanked Penta off the apron. So Ray kicked at Logan. There was a distraction here that allowed Theory to hit the ring with a curb stomp, and he gets the win over Rey Mysterio. Breakker then attacked Penta and Dragon Lee after the match. The Vision laid out both guys. Logan Paul gave Dragon Lee a very ugly-looking frog splash, while Bron Breakker speared Penta and Bronson Reed finished Penta off with a tsunami. No Adam Pearce here. So not only did Adam Pearce give them everything that they wanted, maybe because the person on the phone that called Adam Pearce 2 weeks ago told him to do this, whoever that may be, he gave them everything that they wanted and more, and he did not show up here even though the Vision, again, just decimated Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Penta on his show. He just let them do what they want. So no Adam Pearce. Now, notably, it seemed like they were trying to set Rey up for a spear, but the referee frantically got in between the Vision and Rey Mysterio, and they got Rey Mysterio out of the ring. Now, there was an X thrown up, and I do believe that they pulled him out of this spot and put Penta in there to take the spear from Breakker instead because Rey legitimately got hurt. I saw the referee throw up the X, and I hope to God that there's nothing wrong. Rey has battled injuries left and right, and seemingly he comes back, and within weeks he's injured again. Comes back, and within weeks he's injured again. And it's not like this in and out type of injury. I mean, it's months at a time. So hopefully Rey is okay, and it's not serious. But we don't have any update on that. And the referee, like I said, threw up the X. Now, if Balor wants an in for the Royal Rumble, we may be looking at his replacement. If Rey was in the Rumble, Finn Balor may end up taking the place of Rey Mysterio, so there may not be a spot that's filled up yet. So we'll see what happens. Natalya. They did a video promo here, and this was actually very good. Natty is bringing the low-key legend gimmick to WWE, which is a great thing. Natalya said that she made Maxine, which she did, and Maxine failed. She failed Natty. She said she thinks just because she rolled the legend up means she can roll like a legend. That will never happen again. This is a whole new me. And when I'm done with you, Maxine, I'm coming for it all. She said when Natalya elevates, Natty decimates. You know, I love for them to at least give me an explanation as to why Natty did what she did. Like, that's all I wanted. Natalya turned on Maxine last week. Natalya hasn't been a factor on this show since God knows how long. Even when she was on TV last, she didn't really factor into anything. I think maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, she was in a Queen of the Ring qualifier because they needed bodies. They needed women to fill out the field for the Queen of the Ring. Or it might have been a Money in the Bank ladder match qualifier. Who knows? One or the other. It's so unimportant, I don't even give a shit. That's the last time we saw Natty on television. She's been working blood sports shows. She's been kind of doing Evolve and some indies. I think she did a GCW show, whatever she's doing. She got this low-key legend gimmick. Natty. She's got the dungeon. She's training guys and women in the dungeon with her husband, Tyson Kidd. Great. Fantastic. Her value is so much to WWE, what she's doing outside of being on television. But now they're bringing this character to television, and she hasn't been on television enough for us to care about the heel turn happening last week. If Natty was on television and we got some sort of like telegraph or weeks of build where we could have seen it coming and there might have been a reason, there might have been some dialogue between the two, it just happened out of nowhere. And when Natty showed up tonight in this video promo, they didn't really give you a reason as to why she did it outside, "You failed me." All right, but what led to you feeling this way about Maxine? All because she lost? She lost and now you don't care about her? You put all that effort into training her to win, and then you cost her the match last week with Becky. For what reason? Because she lost the championship? Is that it? Is that all? Becky cheated. Becky cheated to win the title back. So of all the things you want to blame Maxine for, you're going to blame her for failing because the other woman cheated? They gave you no solid reason as to why she turned on Maxine. And nobody gave a shit. The fact that they didn't even set it up and they did it so haphazardly, so quickly, the fans in Belfast, in fucking Ireland, didn't give a shit. They didn't explain anything. She's worked AAA too. Yes. She's worked AAA with this same gimmick. Hopefully, it could get over here in the States. Hopefully. Bayley confronted Raquel, who was upset with Raquel yelling. She was actually on the phone. And Bayley is listening to Raquel yell. She's yelling for Adam Pearce. Adam! She's yelling in Spanish. And then Bayley's like, "Hey, I'm on the phone over here." Bayley, it looked like Bayley tried to hold back such a huge fucking smile and a laugh on what she did here with Raquel. So Raquel is looking for Adam Pearce, and all of a sudden, she's yelling for Adam Pearce. Stephanie Vaquera comes out of nowhere and attacks Raquel Rodriguez, and we got backstage producers and officials breaking these two ladies up, and then we get the announcement that it's going to be a Philadelphia street fight between Stephanie and Raquel with the Women's Championship on the line. That's next week on Raw. Roman Reigns is going to be in the Royal Rumble. It's nice for Roman Reigns to come back to work after 2 months. Oh, it's the last day of January. You know what? I think it's time to get back to work, man. It's ready for me to go back to work here. Ugh. You know? My prediction, because people want to listen to what they want to listen to. My prediction, this is not what I personally want. My prediction is Roman Reigns will win the Men's Royal Rumble. And Liv Morgan will win the Women's Royal Rumble. We're going to sit down with Michael Cole and Gunther. This was actually pretty good. Michael Cole asked, why not just have the rematch and not force AJ Styles to put his career on the line? Really going right for the kill there, Michael Cole, huh? Gunther says he had nothing to gain unless he ends Styles' career. Cole said Styles just wanted to entertain the fans for all of 2026, so why rob the fans? Gunther says he's tired of the old-timers overstaying their welcome and chasing one moment after another. Those moments, they belong to me. He said Goldberg was chasing a moment, and he had to put a stop, he had to put an end to Goldberg. He said the same with John Cena. John Cena was chasing a moment, his retirement. They made a big deal about it. They wanted to put an end to John Cena. And now they're talking about John Cena giving up to him. He told Michael Cole, you know, Michael Cole, you fit into the category of the old-timers I'm talking about. When do you think you're going to hang it up? Because all I see is this old-timer Michael Cole chasing yet another moment. He told Michael Cole, I could kick this chair right out from underneath you and I could end your career right now. Cole looked a little uncomfortable listening to Gunther here. He asked Cole how long he plans to stick around. He said, you know what? Don't worry about that because I want you to sit there at the Royal Rumble so I can hear you say that AJ Styles' career is over because of me. And then he sat back in his chair and he laughed like an evil James Bond villain, did Gunther. See, this is where he's great. This was great. I laughed my ass off when he says, you know what? Never mind. I want you to sit, commentary, front row, so that I can hear you say, I retired AJ Styles. AJ Styles' career is over at the hands of Gunther. And then he laughs like an evil villain. I thought that was great. Humorous and great. Adam Pearce, again on the phone. He's finishing up a phone conversation, saying he has everything under control. Balor walked up to him and says he wants to be in the Royal Rumble. Adam Pearce said the Rumble is full. I'm sorry? The Rumble is full. So he walks away, and Liv Morgan then gets in Balor's face for thanking CM Punk after he showed him up and won and beat you in your own hometown. She said Punk doesn't want him to be champion, but the Judgment Day wants you to be champion because the Judgment Day is your family. Yes, Liv, the Judgment Day is Finn Balor's family. That's his group. Liv Morgan's very much acting like the leader of the Judgment Day. Balor said, this isn't as straightforward as you think, Liv. Let me go and figure this out. We got a tag team title #1 contenders match coming up here. And we'll get into that. Otis, Akira Tozawa, New Day, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston with Grayson Waller on the outside. Creeds. Finally, the Creeds are on TV. And American Made, this is Rayo and Bravo. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. #1 contendership. You can see how great this men's tag team division is, man, that we got the fucking Americanos competing for a tag team championship. We'll get into that. I want to kick it to my sponsor for tonight's show, Turtle Beach. TurtleBeach.com/script. Make sure you go to TurtleBeach.com and use that code SCRIPT at checkout to save 10% off your purchase. PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, Xbox, whatever you guys are gaming on, make sure you go and game with Turtle Beach. Tonight's sponsor right here on Off the Script. All right, listen. Before I put these guys in the dirt on Kill Confirmed, I got to talk about something I'm genuinely obsessed with right now, and that's my Turtle Beach Stealth 700 Gen 3 headset. You know that feeling back in the day when you booted up Call of Duty late at night, lobbies fill up, everyone's talking trash, and you just knew you were locked in? Gaming felt different back then, didn't it? It wasn't just something you played, it was an experience. And if you didn't have a good headset, you were already at a disadvantage. That's exactly why Turtle Beach brought back the Stealth 700 headset. Same nostalgic vibe, except now the audio is insane. The surround sound is next level, and the battery life is borderline ridiculous. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this headset gives me an edge. I hear footsteps before these guys even realize they spawned. I'm calling out enemies, I'm collecting tags, snapping onto targets, as you guys see here with my M8. And that's why I'm sitting at 40 kills and 10 deaths at the end of this gameplay. This isn't luck, it's audio advantage. The comfort, it's unreal as well. These memory foam ear cushions are so comfortable, I forget I'm even wearing them. I've had marathon sessions where my old headset would have tapped out faster than a jobber on main event. Not these. I can wear them for hours without any pressure or any fatigue. And let's talk about the battery life. 80 hours, that's 80. We all have that one friend whose headset dies at the worst possible time. Final moments, clutch situations, Suddenly he's gone. Couldn't be me. With the Stealth 700, charging is basically an afterthought. The dual wireless crossplay system is another game changer. I can switch between console and PC with one click. Plus, I can connect my phone at the same time. Music, calls, listening to the Solid Monster, whatever. All while I'm gaming. No disconnecting, no nonsense. It just works. And Turtle Beach isn't just headsets. They got controllers, keyboards, mice, flight and racing gear. If you're upgrading your setup for the new year, Turtle Beach has got you covered. So if you want to bring back that golden era feeling, but with modern performance, this is the move. Head to turtlebeach.com and use code SCRIPT for 10% off your entire order. That's 10% off at turtlebeach.com with promo code SCRIPT. That's SCRIPT. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show and tell them that we here on Off the Script sent you over to Turtle Beach. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. It's a new year, guys. Get yourself some new gear. Yeah, man, I'm like... I'm looking at myself in that gameplay, man. I'm still... You can't hear me, but you could just physically see me complaining about some of the things that I have to go through in that game, man. It's like sometimes you shoot somebody and they don't die, and then sometimes it feels like you die and it's super quick. I don't know, man. The spawns are terrible. If you guys have played Black Ops 7, man, the spawns are the worst I've ever seen. So bad. And this tag team division is the worst I've ever seen, man. This match, this signifies a division that is so dead that I genuinely don't know what they're going to do with the Usos going into WrestleMania. We're almost at a point where if the Usos and like the Hardys or the New Day or the Usos and the Lucha Brothers doesn't happen at WrestleMania, it's almost like, what the fuck are you guys doing, bro? Like, this division is fucking awful in every sense of the word. And they don't care. They don't care. So, this match went 11 minutes. You know, if they wanted a better tag team division, they'd put more than 11 minutes into a fucking 4-team fatal four-way for the number one contendership here. American-made, Los Americanos, and Alpha Academy with the New Day. Crowd didn't really care about any of this until Otis got in because everybody loves Otis. So then they got into it. Otis hit his caterpillar. Cover was broken up. Everybody attacked Otis. So Akira Tozawa made the save and hit Bravo Americano with the German suplex. What people don't realize is that Tozawa is actually a very good pro wrestler. He's a comedy geek, but he's a very good pro wrestler. And he's in there. He got a nice pop, too. He wiped out all three teams with suicide dives like a madman. Tozawa set up Kofi for a diving senton. Woods distracted the referee. So Waller goes on to the apron and trips out Tozawa on the top rope. Referee starts yelling at Waller until Jay super kicked Waller over the barricade and into the crowd. Otis beat up the other team single-handedly and slammed Julius Creed onto Brutus Creed. Tozawa followed with a diving senton on Julius for the 1-2-3. Tozawa's got a nasty senton. That shit looked like it fucking hurt. So Alpha Academy are the number one contenders for the tag team titles. At the end of the match, Jey Uso without Jimmy. I don't know where Jimmy is. I think Jimmy might be with Naomi. That's my logical guess there. I think the lady at home needs her husband, so Jimmy might not even be in Saudi. So Jey will be in the Rumble, and that's basically it. Or maybe did Jimmy announce himself for the Rumble? I haven't seen him on TV in weeks. I'm assuming that he's got husband duties at home. So either way, this match is made the Usos versus Alpha Academy. Jey Uso jumped on the apron and bumped fists with Otis and Tozawa. The Usos are not losing the tag team titles to the Alpha Academy. 11 minutes. Jackie Redmond, who was wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jacket, interviewed Becky Lynch Becky Lynch called her win last week monumental. Jackie Redmond wouldn't know anything about monumental, and Becky says, you wouldn't know anything about monumental because you're wearing a jacket like that. So obviously the fans booed. Lynch noted Natalya going crazy after the match. Lynch understood because Natalya trained mid-Maxine from nothing, and she remained nothing. And then she compared it to training loser Lyra. I find it just brings a smile to my face where Becky Lynch brings up someone like Lyra and she attaches a word similar to the first letter of Lyra's name, like Lyra Valkyria, loser Lyra. And then she did the same with Maxine, mediocre Maxine. I love that she applies these derogatory names to match the first letter of who she's talking about's name. I think it's great. Loser Lyra is what she called Lyra Valkyria. Now Natalya was coming after her title, but Natty would have to win the Royal Rumble first, and that was laughable. Natty's got to win the Royal Rumble to go after the Women's Intercontinental title? Becky Lynch said she would be entering the Royal Rumble. Kairi Sane and Asuka interrupted. Sane said Lynch would not win the Royal Rumble because Asuka would, and Becky Lynch was not ready for Asuka. Lynch said she was ready because I've already beaten Asuka many times before. Kairi tried to explain this to Asuka, who was standing right there, and Asuka says, I heard her, I understood her. Cut her off and told Becky Lynch that she would see her in the Royal Rumble. Javon Evans, do you guys realize that he made his Royal Rumble aspirations known, that Javon Evans declared for the Royal Rumble in a fucking commercial? It's almost like a meme now. This guy got signed in a commercial. He declared for the Rumble in a commercial. Javon Evans approached AJ Styles as he was warming up. Evans hoped to see him after Saturday. Styles shook Evans' hand. And this got awkward. I don't know what this was. This was a very awkward confrontation between Javon Evans and AJ Styles. Royal Rumble card, they ran down the card. AJ versus Gunther, Styles' career on the line. McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. The Women's Royal Rumble, and then the Men's Royal Rumble. 4 matches. Looks like we may get the Women's Royal Rumble opening the show. And then we'll go to AJ and Gunther. And then we'll do Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and then the Men's Royal Rumble. That's the way that I envision the card layout for Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. start time, 11 a.m. for my West Coast folk. The Vision met backstage to discuss what their plan was now that they were all in the Royal Rumble. Logan Paul got up and was the unofficial spokesman of the group. Says that they should go into the match with one goal and one vision. Get it? One vision? He says they should ensure a victory for Bron Breakker. Reed, Theory, they were both in full agreement here. Breakker had absolutely no reaction to this whatsoever and basically understood the vision. Yes, we should have me be the recipient of a Royal Rumble victory. Obafemi was announced for the Royal Rumble officially in a Obafemi video package, so it's going to be great to see the Rula on Saturday afternoon. And then we come to the main event, which went 18 minutes. CM Punk, AJ Styles. Punk comes out first. AJ comes out second. And we will pick it up right before we head into the first commercial break here. Styles, he got the better of an exchange on Punk with a cradle for a 2 count. Punk got up. He got the better of the next exchange, hit Styles with an elbow and a chop to the back. Styles came back very quickly with a beautiful drop kick. Punk fell outside. Styles nailed a sliding knee. And we go into a commercial break. Styles was in control through the break until Punk whipped him hard into the corner. Crowd all of a sudden in Toronto wanted, we want tables. I don't know why they're chanting, we want tables. It's not a no DQ match. You want to see that type of garbage, go watch Wednesday night. Punk followed with a neck breaker and a lifting knee, a bulldog, a shining wizard. Typical Punk offense. The shining wizard was a new addition. He hasn't done the shining wizard like that in a while. Styles comes back with a series of strikes, running forearm, big corner splash. Punk fired back with a clothesline. He goes for a cover off the clothesline, only gets a 2 count. Styles blocked the GTS and followed with a fireman's carry neck breaker, or what Corey Graves called a Ushigoroshi. We haven't heard that name called by its actual ring name since the days of Mauro Ranallo on NXT Black and Gold. So shout out to Corey Graves for that one. Punk knocked Styles off the middle turnbuckle and hit a flying elbow drop. He goes for recovery, gets a 2 count. Punk goes quickly to apply an Anaconda Vice. Styles countered out of it. He then tries to get out of it and quickly set up a Styles clash. Punk drove him into the turnbuckles. Punk tried a Shining Wizard against Styles, caught him, and set up a Styles clash. Punk avoided it again, so Styles dumped him from the ring. Punk blocked a sliding knee and hit the GTS, but outside on the hard camera side of the ring, on the outside. So there was this long, drawn-out spot here where Punk got back into the ring, and Styles made it in back at a 9 count off the GTS. Styles was down selling. Punk wasn't sure what to do next, so Styles suddenly caught him in a Styles clash, playing possum. He goes for recovery, gets a very close near fall. Styles went for a phenomenal forearm. Punk knocked him off the top rope. They exchanged strikes. Styles comes back with a out-of-nowhere Pele kick. Styles tried to set up for the Styles clash again before Punk got him on his shoulders to try for a GTS. Styles held the top rope to block the GTS, and the two men struggled for position. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, I thought Gunther was going to come out there and fuck things up. Actually, it was Finn Balor who popped up in the ring and drop-kicked Punk into the corner, knocking Styles out of the ring, and the referee called for a disqualification. So Punk wins the match over Styles by DQ. Styles was down, and Punk wasn't sure what to do next. So Styles suddenly caught him in a style, or actually after this, the DQ. Balor, after the dropkick, he dropkicked Punk into the barricade, and multiple times, vicious dropkicks. I mean, Balor was just laying these dropkicks in, one after another on the barricade, and the barricade did not break. So Balor throws Punk back into the ring. He not only gives him 1 coup de grace, 2 coup de grace, but he gives him 3 coup de grace. And Balor hit it 3 times. He stood tall over Punk, and that's the way the show on this Monday night came to a close. So Balor told Liv Morgan that this is a little bit more complicated than you realize, and I'm going to go take care of it. So he goes out there and takes care of it. He beats the shit out of CM Punk. Now, I don't know where this is going to go. For all we know, Balor's not in the Royal Rumble. Balor's going to want another championship match at some point. He's going to force his way into having Punk give him another world championship match. That may be the match that they build going into Chicago at the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. What I see playing out, and this is a very old school pro wrestling trope, and this is something that I think would get maximum heat on the entire angle. Something as simple as this. Balor is in line with what the Judgment Day needs to do. They all want to be champions. He's taking things into his own hands. He's showing Liv Morgan that he's in control. Dominic's going to come back. He's still the IC champion. He's still a AAA Mega champion. Liv is going to win the Royal Rumble. Everything's under control. Everything's going to be peachy in the Judgment Day. I feel like if they're going into Chicago, I feel like Punk is obviously walking into Mania with the championship. But I feel like if Balor and Punk are wrestling in Chicago at the Chamber, it'll come to a point where Punk beats Balor again in a great match. And then after the match is over, the Judgment Day attack. And the Judgment Day attacks, and the Judgment Day attacks. And then the one guy that doesn't attack is Finn Balor. He's looking at Dominic put the boots to Punk. He's looking at J.D. McDonough put the boots to Punk. And Balor's just hanging back, conflicted. And obviously, this will be weeks of television where Punk is He's upset at Balor because he listened to Punk speak to him but didn't take his words and really process them. He's still continuing to be manipulated by Dominic and Liv Morgan. Punk is angry, but Punk is not really angry. He's more angry at the fact that Balor, he knows Balor's being manipulated. He knows Balor's better than this. And he's trying to get through to Balor. Punk may be the catalyst to get Balor to say, you know what? Punk was right all along. Punk was right all along. And he doesn't attack CM Punk, and then they end up attacking Finn Balor. And that's how we get the Judgment Day kicking Finn Balor out of the group, and that's how I think we get Balor and Dominic at WrestleMania. Something as simple as that. Something like that could really give the Judgment Day, A, maximum heel heat, B, Balor huge babyface heat, and C, Balor gets a singles championship run with the IC title because he'd beat Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. That's the way that I see it playing out. It's something simple as that. It might not be that to a T, but I can absolutely see something like that. I could see something like that playing out. I thought this was a solid Monday night. You know, I feel like WWE's kind of partially been on cruise control. Punk is showing you why 2026, as long as he can stay healthy, is going to be a great year for him. He's already putting Wrestler of the Year credentials together. Who knows? He may have Match of the Year, too. Who knows? When all is said and done. Punk is doing great. We got some participants for the Royal Rumble. WWE gave you a whole field of people for the Royal Rumble. They got those surprises, hopefully still to come. Styles and Gunther is a little bit unpredictable with the way things are transpiring there. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre's got a nice story to it with Sami chasing the World Championship. The Women's Royal Rumble should be good. I'm hoping this show on Saturday really is the true catalyst that we need it to be. Genuinely. The WWE needs something. They need something to really kind of get them out of this lull. And I know there's a lull right now because a lot of people are like, Royal Rumble in Saudi. I get it. I feel the same way. I'm not overly excited about it. WWE's done not that much promotion for it. But I can't hate on the Rumble. It's my favorite show of the year. At some point, I might not be excited now, but come Saturday afternoon, I'm going to be excited. I like hearing that buzzer. I like hearing the countdown. I like being surprised. I like knowing what type of surprises there may be. And we got some great wrestling still to come. So I thought tonight was a solid show. Not the best show, but it was a solid show nonetheless on this Monday night. Thank you guys for a great sit down here. We're going to get into your super chats in just a little bit. If you do want to get in on the support, the super chats are open. Get them on in. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys leave me a comment down below as well. Go check out that content, man. Great content. All the streams last week, that's Trey Miguel video that you guys loved a lot. A lot of truth in that video. Go and check it out. And Turtle Beach. Check out my sponsor tonight. TurtleBeach.com/scripts. Use that promo code SCRIPT at checkout for 10% off. We got a brand new list of sponsors coming up, man. I'm excited to work with some new sponsors coming up in the month of February and in the month of March, man. Going to be good. Got some cool stuff coming up. Let's get into these super chats. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. JD, how much snow did you get? Let's go, OTS. Yeah. Michael, I got about 18 inches and then another 3 or 4 inches of ice today. Because the snow that happened in the evening last night, on Sunday night, all froze. It was bad. MGM Bolin with a $4.99. I hate that. My brain thought of this, but what does Jey Uso say when he's motorboating? Main event, Jey Uso is now in your today's. Yeah. Yes. Yes, thank you, MGM Ball. Thank you for the visual I did not need. Bossmo Jackson with the 499. What's up, brother? NXT lost some talent, and they still put on good shows. So the first time in a long time, NXT have better shows than the main roster. No. NXT is not good television. Also, Bossmo Jackson with the 499. Just curious, what part of New York are you from? I remember growing up, I lived in Middletown, Yonkers, Beacon, and White Plains. If you could move, where would you go? I grew up in the Bronx, and if I could go anywhere, it would be 60 to 70 degrees every day with a fucking palm tree in my front yard. And great coffee in the area. There's got to be at least 2 great coffee shops. And I'm not talking about Dunkin' and Starbucks. Stardust. Starbucks. Dylan on Wheels with a 499. IWC says JD hates women in wrestling media, even though he critiqued both male and female content creators in his TNA review. Make it make sense. Well, the people that say that clearly have a narrative that they are fucking clueless about, and I am an equal opportunity hater. It doesn't matter if you are male or female. If your content sucks, your content sucks. Bossmo Jackson with the 499. It said, Penta with other luchas, no Phoenix. I want my Lucha Brothers together. WWE Creative is a load of shit for this. Bro, the way things are going, we'll be forced to get the Lucha Brothers and the Usos together. Hannah Blackman with a 199. Javon announces Royal Rumble entry during a commercial. Yes, I don't understand this. I don't understand it. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? I want to live in Los Angeles? No, I don't. I do not want to live in Los Angeles. Bossmo Jackson with the 199. Tag division is on life support. It's a lost cause. Man, I wish they put as much effort into the men's tag team division as they do the women's. Michelle with a 2. Not a very strong show before the Royal Rumble. Lackluster. I thought it was solid. Nothing crazy. It's 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. Bossmo Jackson with a 499. Tonight's show put me to sleep, so now I'm ready for NXT. That should be a better show. NXT is the place to be. OTS for life. 2 thumbs up for the channel. Not a fan of the current version of NXT. WrestleMess with a 199. I think Pearce is taking orders from Stephanie. Why would Stephanie McMahon care about the vision all of a sudden? Ethan Nelson with a 499. A part of me wishes Gunther just beats the crap out of AJ to a point of a DQ. It can't end like this. Listen, that could be also a way out of it. Maybe he does something where the referee declares Gunther the winner, he doesn't listen, and then they reverse the decision. JD, are you going to be at the Hog Show with MJF? No, you can blame Tony Khan for that. I will not. Based with a 999. Great episode of Raw tonight, capped off by a banger main event. It is awesome being a WWE fan. Hope you are well, JD. Thank you, Based. Sidro with a $5 super chat. Doctor says, we're just waiting for your x-ray. The blonde says, but I've never dated anyone named Ray. Dumb blonde, huh? And I'm tired of Texas Hold'em puns. Well, cry me a river. Man, I love playing some Texas Hold'em. I used to play so much. Texas Hold'em. The one thing I didn't do was go to the casinos, though, and play actual Texas Hold'em. I only played with friends, having a couple of brewskis in the nighttime, have the guys over, and online poker. For no money. Lenin Jimenez with a 20 in Mexican pesos. I live in Mexico, 70 degrees, and I envy you. You envy me? Bro, it's fucking 12 degrees outside. Chris with a 43 months. The weather lately just completely sucks, bro. It is so depressing. It is so depressing. I went to go take the trash out, bro. I said to myself, I feel bad for anybody that's got to be out here for more than 5 minutes. It is so awful. Sidro with a $2 super chat. What do you call a Roman with a cold? Julius Sneezer. Bossmo Jackson with a $4.99. WW2K26 should only get updates through previous games. There's no need for a new game. Same goes for any other game. It's the same thing every year. Well, that's not going to stop the low IQ, boring, uncreative creators in the space who will, like, again, clap like seals over, oh, man, look at Stephanie McCare's entrance. Clone Force with the 21 months. Thank you, Clone Force. Good news, JD, from Saturday after being depressed, and I got approved for Uber Eats, and I put my background check to do Uber, and I applied for Lyft. Listen, brother, make that money. Make that money. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, bro. And you know what? A job is a job. And if you bust your ass, you can make that job as successful as you want it to be. What is the weather like for my Floridians out there, man? Is it worth taking a random trip to Florida? You know, my birthday's coming up. Should I go to Miami? What's the weather like in Orlando, Miami? You Smith for life with a $10 super chat. Austin Theory, the pressure. I'm getting pressured to stop watching this stuff. The Rumble, Chamber, and WrestleMania better be great. I'm not pressuring myself to watch this stuff like last year. I'm done. Well, brother, you got the podcast, man. You can get it from us here on whether it's worth watching or not. We'll let you know for sure. When's my birthday, Suplexus? What are you, new here? It's 60 degrees right now in Miami, says my guy Triple M. That's good enough for me. You know, that's good enough to sit outside in a fucking hoodie and still drink a cold beverage. I'll take it. It's not beach weather. But at least I can walk outside without freezing my fucking balls off after 30 seconds, which is great. It's in the channel name, Suplexus. It's in the channel name. Look at the numbers. You Smith with a $5 super chat. Bianca Belair returns at the Rumble. Can she please become a heel? She's probably my favorite of the women. But I need her edge back, like in NXT. I've been wanting that for years. You know, all these people think that a Jade versus Bianca match is going to be so great. Jade sucks. She has not gotten a lick better from her days in AEW. Michael Krause with the $2 super chat. Commercial after commercial, segment after segment, commercial after commercial. Sidro with the $2 super chat. I think Rock was on the phone with Adam. Who else? Yeah, but for what reason? Now he wants to watch the show? The guy don't want to show up when we need him, but he wants to watch a random Raw from Belfast, Ireland, and make sure Bron Breakker gets his suspension lifted. $009.5 with the super chat. Do y'all know what I Show Speed is famous for? This jabroni spent New Year's Eve here in South Africa, and the people here went crazy for him. I thought he was just Logan Paul's prime mascot. Bro, I don't know why any of those government plants are popular. Gee, I wonder why. They're either botting fucking viewers or they're government plants like Mr. Beast. Seriously. You see this guy Burnt Peanut streaming Arc Raiders in front of 100,000 people, bro? You mean to tell me that 1/3 of the game's overall audience is watching the Burnt Peanut play the fucking game? Bro, that don't even make sense. That makes less sense than the fucking AEW pay-per-view numbers. Triple M with a $2 super chat. Survived the storm, only a cracked windshield, and also High Guard and Marathon sucks. I watched Doc play High Guard today. The game looks fucking cheesy as fuck. I don't know why anybody would even jump on there and make that their game of choice. It looks like Apex Legends and fucking... It looks like Apex Legends with wannabe fucking looter behind it. With Battlefield-sized maps. Doc trolled the shit out of them. He'll never be on that game again. More people were talking about Doc and the AI image that he made with his fake credentials than the game itself. U.S. Smith with a $5 super chat. I have to give tribute if this is AJ Styles' last match, as it hits me hard like when HBK retired, maybe more as someone who grew up on Styles since his early years at PCW. And I know most of you don't know what that is. When I first saw him, I was so amazed and astonished. I instantly connected with him and was another guy who made me really love wrestling. He was like my HBK because I didn't start watching wrestling until after HBK retired the first time. But I watched AJ from the beginning besides his stint in WCW. This is going to get me emotional and really shows me I'm getting old. Thank you, AJ Styles. Listen, man, I don't want to believe it either. You know, I'm not into AJ's entire career like that, but you know, I know some of his TNA stuff. I know some of his New Japan stuff. I know mostly his WWE stuff. It's not going to hit me that hard, but we've welcomed someone like that into our home for over a decade in WWE. It's going to hit you hard regardless. I don't want to see it end, but it looks like we may be on the verge of AJ retiring on Saturday. Justin Turner with 4 months. Keep up the great work, JD. Thank you, Justin. And Joker Face with a $1.99. JD, favorite Anthrax and Slayer songs. My favorite Anthrax song is Indians. And my favorite Slayer song is probably War Ensemble. You know, a lot of Slayer fans. Diabolus and Musica get shit on a lot. I love Bitter Peace. I think Bitter Peace is a great fucking song. That's a great album. I don't know why it gets shit on so much, because that album, Diabolus and Musica, came out in an era where a lot of bands were kind of shifting to the nu metal sound. And that was their take on nu metal, but it was still brutal as fuck. Still very Slayer. But my favorite Slayer song is War Ensemble. It's probably my favorite album, too. Anyway, guys, that's all we got for you. Appreciate you all very much for hanging out with me. We just eclipsed a little bit over 2 hours. So thank you guys very much, man. Thank you for the super chat love. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up as well. Let's try. We got 673 likes. Can we get 700 likes before we get out of here? That would be fantastic. Let's do that. Gonna play this new banger on my way out. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you go and check out all the content on the channel. There is plenty of it. Tomorrow night, Tuesday Night Titans with the one and only Monster. Should be a great Tuesday night discussion. We're going to talk Royal Rumble, preview predictions. I got a bunch of cool questions lined up for the Monster. We're going to go back and forth on that. Should be fun. And then Wednesday, Jesse and I will be live with Dynamite, which is ice cold right now. Friday, SmackDown, and then Saturday, the Royal Rumble. Should be a busy week. So make sure you guys go and check all that stuff out. Keep up to date on what we're doing here. Leave a comment down below. And as always, Turtle Beach, thank you to them for sponsoring the show this week and all weekend. TurtleBeach.com/script. Use that code SCRIPT to check out to save 10% off. Go get yourself something nice and game with Turtle Beach. Until then, guys, I will see you live tomorrow night with Tuesday Night Titans right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.